This is compound statements with 3 variables, part 3. Now this is where it gets a little more complicated, because the next column we're going to fill in here is this one. Now what this is saying here is that when this statement is not true, then this is. Okay? So this statement isn't true, therefore this is true. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and fill this in for you, and then I'll explain it. Now you're going to notice immediately that this column right here is exactly the opposite of this column right here. How convenient is that? Now you say, how does this work? Alright, in this statement, you bought milk and you bought bread. And you said that the only time you would buy milk is if you didn't buy bread. Well, of course, this statement is false. And if that statement is false, then saying that what you're doing is you're saying, this says this statement is false. Okay? That's what this is it is not this. So that's true. Okay? Now on this statement, you bought milk, but you didn't buy bread. So this makes this part true, therefore this part is false. And we can go on and on and on here, because in this statement, you bought milk, you bought bread, therefore invalidating the statement, so therefore it's not this. And the same thing goes down here, that you bought milk but you didn't buy any bread, making this part true and this part false. So on and so forth all the way down the line. And if you need any further explanation, you can leave a comment down below. I will tell you that. Okay? Now then, we go to this final statement, which is an AND statement. This whole thing has to be true, and this other side has to be true as well. So, let's go through this step by step. Okay? Now, we're going to start with this one. Why is this one right here true? Well, I'm going to explain that. Alright. Whoops. Hang on. Whoops, that's even worse. I got a water bottle down here, so bear with me. Okay. How is this side true? Well, when you bought milk, you bought eggs and bread. And you say you're going to buy at least one of them when you bought this milk. So that whole statement, this side is true. And then on this side you said that you would buy milk only if you didn't buy bread. Well, you ended up buying milk and bread, so this whole statement is false. And we said, in order for both sides to be true, this is true because you bought milk, eggs, and bread, and this side is true because you bought milk and bread, and you said you were not going to buy milk if you didn't. You said you were going to buy milk only if you didn't buy bread. So this side is false, which is supposed to be. This side is true, which is supposed to be. So therefore, that's the end, and all of this is true. Whew. Would you like for me to read that to you all the way straight across? Okay. I bought milk and I bought eggs and bread. And I said that I would buy one of these two items at least if I bought milk. But I also said that I would only buy milk if I didn't buy bread, which of course this is all false, and you said this side is going to be false and this side is going to be true. So that's what makes that true. Now then, what about the next side? Okay, the next one is false. Why? Okay, well, here's the explanation. You bought milk, you bought eggs, you didn't buy bread. Well, that side is true. And what about this side? You bought milk, you didn't buy bread, so this statement is true, and in order for this and to work, this statement has to be false. So since this statement is not false, it's actually true, then that and doesn't work, and that's why it's false. I know, that gets really complicated from here. What about the next one? The next one's going to be true. Why is this one true? I'll explain. You bought milk, you didn't buy eggs, but you did buy bread. Okay, so that part is true. Now over here, you bought milk, you bought bread, so this statement is false. And so this is true, so therefore this is true. So both sides of this are true, and therefore you got this. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the last of this column, and I want you to figure out why these are the way they are. Okay, this is true, this is false, this is true, this is false, this is false, this is true, this is false, this is true. Now in the comments below, tell me why the remainder of these are the way they are. I bet if you think long and hard, you'll get it. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.